You ever pick up a game just because it looked kinda cool and nobody ever told you about it? No big hype, no top 10 lists, just you and a random game that ended up blowing you away. Today I'm gonna talk about the best games I've played that no one recommended to me, but I seriously wish they had. These are total hidden gems and they deserve some love. The Saboteur. The Saboteur is one of those games that a lot of people either missed or forgot about, but man, it really deserves more love. It's this open world action game set in Nazi-occupied France during World War II, but it's not just another war shooter. You're not a soldier, you're not in the army. You play as a rough, stubborn Irish guy named Sean Devlin, a race car mechanic turned freedom fighter, and this dude's got serious attitude. He drinks, he fights, he swears, and he hates Nazis. That's pretty much all you need to know. Now the coolest part, the way the world works. When you start off, Paris is black and white, literally, like the color's gone. Everything looks gray and lifeless, with just red glowing signs and lights from the Nazi regime. But when you start fighting back, blowing up towers, helping the resistance, freeing neighborhoods, the color comes back, slowly. The world fills up with life and light again. It's not just a gimmick either, it really makes you feel like you're making a difference in the world. Gameplay-wise, it's kinda like a mix of Assassin's Creed, GTA, and a little Hitman. You can climb buildings, sneak around, wear Nazi uniforms as disguises, or just go loud and blast everything with a shotgun. There are car chases, gunfights, stealth kills, explosives, all set in these gritty back alleys, rooftops, and wide-open countryside roads. It's not the smoothest game ever made, but it's got that scrappy, fun energy that keeps things exciting. The game does have some jank, a few bugs here and there, some rough edges, but the heart is there, it's got soul, and it does something different, which is rare for open world games. It's not trying to be massive, it's focused, stylish, and full of moments that make you go, yeah, this is sick.
There's our man now.
The Saboteur came out at the wrong time, got buried under bigger releases, and the studio behind it, Pandemic, shut down right after, so it never got the sequel it deserved. But even as a one-shot, it holds up. It's one of those forgotten gems that actually had something special.
Your homeland is such a popular tourist destination.
I don't get back much. Well, what are you then? Scotland Yard?
We are a dagger at the enemy's throat. The time has come to start cutting.
Last time I checked, your lot was losing this war.
Is that what you want, Mr. Devlin?
Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line is not your average military shooter. At first, yeah, it looks like just another third-person, cover-based war game. Desert setting, American soldiers, dusty streets, lots of yelling and bullets, but that's just the cover. What's underneath is something way darker, way smarter, and honestly, kinda disturbing. You play as Captain Martin Walker, leading a small squad into a ruined version of Dubai, which has been hit by massive sandstorms and is now basically cut off from the rest of the world. You're there to find survivors, figure out what happened, and maybe rescue a famous colonel who went silent. But the deeper you go, the more everything starts falling apart. Not just the city, but also your mission, your squad, and yourself. Gameplay-wise, it plays like a basic shooter at first. You take cover, you shoot, you toss grenades. Nothing flashy, nothing special, but that's the point. The game lures you in with the usual stuff. The hoorah action vibe, the military radio chatter, the basic war movie look. Then, it slowly starts messing with you. You start doing things you didn't expect, making choices you don't feel great about, and Walker starts changing too. At first, he's just doing his job, but by the end, he's somewhere else entirely.
I'm gonna kill every last one of your men.
And yeah, the game is heavy. There's one scene, if you played it, you know exactly which one, where the game just hits you in the gut. You think you're doing the right thing, following orders, being the good guy, and then the game pulls the rug out. It doesn't yell at you, it just shows you what you did and makes you sit with it. No joke, it's one of the most powerful moments in any game. If you've never played it, or if you brushed it off as just another shooter, trust me, go back and try it. This game leaves a mark. Hitman Absolution. Hitman Absolution is the black sheep of the Hitman series, but for me, it's still a damn good game if you take it for what it is. Yeah, it's different from the classic sandbox Hitman style. It's more focused, more story-driven, and way more linear. But that's also what makes it kinda cool in its own way. You're still playing as Agent 47, the cold, bald assassin with a barcode on the back of his head, but this time he's not just taking contracts. The story's more personal. He's protecting a young girl named Victoria who's got a messed up past and trying to stay one step ahead of a bunch of violent freaks, crooked cops, gang leaders, weird cult types, all while the agency he used to work for is now after him. Right away, you'll notice the tone is darker, grimmier, more emotional. This ain't fancy suits and quiet piano music. This is back alleys, sleazy strip clubs, motel shootouts, and people getting thrown out of windows. The vibe feels closer to Max Payne than classic Hitman sometimes, and yeah, it rubs some fans the wrong way, but if you like that gritty cinematic feel, this is perfect. Gameplay's a mix. Some levels are tight little stealth playgrounds where you sneak around, change disguises, take out targets in clever ways. Classic Hitman stuff. Other levels are more like set pieces with shootouts, chases, and scripted scenes. It's more guided, but still gives you room to mess around and get creative. You've still got all the toys, fiber wire, silenced pistols, screwdrivers, disguises, distractions, just in smaller spaces. Now, yeah, if you're looking for those big open-ended sandbox levels like in Hitman Blood Money or the newer trilogy, you won't get much of that here, but if you're cool with a more focused, story-heavy approach with strong stealth and some action sprinkled in, Absolution still holds up. Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls is one of those games that people love to hate on, but honestly, I thought it was actually super interesting. It's not your usual action game, it's more like this emotional, mysterious journey through someone's life, with a little bit of supernatural weirdness thrown in, and if you're into heavy story-driven stuff like Detroit or Life is Strange, this one's totally worth checking out. You play as Jodie Holmes, a girl who's had this ghost-like thing attached to her since she was a kid. It's not really a ghost, it's called Aiden, and it follows her everywhere. Sometimes it protects her, sometimes it freaks out, sometimes it causes chaos, but it's always there and Jodie has to live with it. That's the whole game, really. Her life, from childhood to adulthood, all tied up with a strange connection.
Oh, stop it, Aiden. They don't give a shit if we break everything in this goddamn room.
The way the game's told is kind of wild. The timeline jumps all over the place. One moment you're a little kid in a lab, the next you're homeless on the street, then suddenly you're on a military mission in some war zone. And yeah, that threw a lot of people off, but I kind of liked it. It made the whole story feel like a puzzle, like you're slowly figuring out who Jodie really is and what her deal is. Now the gameplay is pretty chill. You mostly walk around, interact with stuff, and make choices in conversations. There are a few action scenes where you have to dodge or fight using slow motion button prompts, and when you control Aiden, you can float around, pass through walls, move objects, or even possess people. It's not fast-paced or anything, but it keeps things interesting, especially with how different each chapter feels. And yeah, I get why some people didn't like it. It's not super deep in terms of gameplay, and the story gets a little messy near the end. Some folks thought it was too serious, too dramatic, or just kind of all over the place. But for me, that's what made it different. It's mysterious, emotional, and full of moments where you're just sitting there thinking, what the hell is going on, and where is this go? In a good way. The Wolf Among Us.
This whole time! Listen to your wife. Just calm down and...
The Wolf Among Us is honestly one of the coolest, slickest story games ever made. Like, if you've never played it and you're into those choice-driven Telltale style games, this one's a must, no question. It's got that same vibe as The Walking Dead or Life is Strange, but instead of sad zombies or teen drama, this one drops you into this dark, neon-soaked fairy tale world, full of mystery and murder. You play as Big Wolf, yeah, like the big bad wolf, but now he's the sheriff of a secret hidden town called Fabletown, where all the old fairy tale characters live in disguise. Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Ichabod Crane, even the 3 little pigs, they're all here just trying to survive in the real world. And no one's living happily ever after anymore.
What's going on?
Who do you work for, Billy?
My lips are sealed. These lips are sealed.
The game kicks off with a brutal murder, and Big B gets pulled into this deep investigation full of twists, shady people, and secrets nobody wants to talk about. It's gritty, it's moody, and every conversation feels like it could go off the rails if you say the wrong thing. That's where the gameplay comes in. It's all about your choices. What you say, what you do, how you handle people. You can be calm or you can be a total beast. The game remembers. The vibe is unreal. It's like a mix of Sin City and Grimm's fairy tales, but told with this comic book style that just pops. Everything's glowing purple and pink, the shadows are thick, and the characters all feel real, even though they're from stories. It's that perfect balance of fantasy and modern noir.
What is this? Bigby.
What you did to the door? You can't just act like this whenever
Stand back. You don't want to see this.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. When Guardians of the Galaxy first got shown off, everybody and their grandma thought it was going to be another flop like that Avengers game, you know, the one all live service, nonsense, boring grind, ugly character models, just disappointment all around. So yeah, people saw Guardians, saw it was just Star-Lord, and kinda dipped. They thought it was going to be more of that same trash, but nah. This game pulled a full 180 and surprised everybody. It turned out to be the complete opposite of that Avengers mess. No battle pass, no grind, no multiplayer fluff, just a full-on single-player, story-driven, high-quality experience with heart, humor, and actual fun gameplay. It's not even trying to be a knockoff of the MCU versions. The characters here feel like their own thing, different voices, different backstories, but still super likable. Honestly, more likable in some ways. The writing is sharp, and they bicker and joke and open up in ways that feel real. You actually care about these weirdos by the end. They're not just comic book props, they're a messed up little family, and it works. And yeah, the gameplay is good. It's not just pew-pew laser shooting the whole time. You've got to command your team, break down enemy shields, mix your attacks, and keep moving. It gets hectic but never overwhelming, and when you hit that perfect moment and the 80s music kicks in, dude, it's hype, like full goosebumps. Visually, it looks amazing too. The planets are bright, alien, weird, and full of personality. It doesn't feel like a copy-paste sci-fi world. Every place you go feels fresh and creative, and even the quiet parts, like walking through ship hallways and having small convos, are filled with little touches that show how much care went into it. At the end of the day, this game went from meh expectations to full-on sleeper hit. People thought it was going to be another Avengers disaster, and instead, it turned out to be one of the best Marvel games out there. Straight up proof that good writing, good pacing, and a focused story can still hit hard, even in a world full of bloated live service trash.
Follow me!
The Darkness. The Darkness is one of those forgotten gems from the Xbox 360 and PS3 days that honestly deserves way more love than it gets. If you've never played it or maybe never even heard of it, don't feel bad, a lot of people missed it. But this thing was special, man. Real dark, real moody, and surprisingly emotional. You play as Jackie Estacado, a hitman for the mob, who, on his 21st birthday, finds out he's got this ancient evil power inside him called the Darkness. It's not just a cool name, it's a full-on demonic force that lives in him, talks to him, and lets him do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like you can summon creepy little goblin creatures, rip out people's hearts, shoot tentacles through walls, even create a black hole that sucks enemies in. It's brutal, it's bloody, and it feels awesome. Gameplay mixes guns and powers, you're dual-wielding pistols, while your demon arms are grabbing enemies, snapping necks, pulling off brutal executions. You feel powerful, but the game never lets you forget that this thing inside you, it's not your friend, it wants to use you. Jackie's always kind of on the edge, part hero, part monster. But the Darkness wasn't perfect, some parts are a little dated now, some mechanics are a bit clunky, but the atmosphere, the story, the voice work, and the way it balances violence with emotion, still totally worth it. Bad Max. Mad Max is straight up one of the most slept on open world games out there. Like when it came out in 2015, it got buried under all the hype for Metal Gear Solid 5. Same release day, bad timing, and a lot of people just passed on it. But if you actually sat down and played it, man, this game is actually so fun. So yeah, you're Max. Quiet dude, rough past, trying to survive in this post-apocalyptic wasteland where everything's dust, rust, and chaos. Right at the start, these war boys jack your car, beat you down, and leave you for dead. Classic. But Max don't stay down. He gets up, finds this weird little hunchback mechanic named Chumbucket who calls him the Saint, and together they start building a new beast of a car, the Magnum Opus. That car, it's everything. Your lifeline, your weapon, your ride or die, the whole game is built around it. You upgrade it piece by piece, better armor, spike wheels, nitro boost, a giant harpoon, and then go full Mad Max mode, tearing through enemy camps and convoys. The driving combat is so satisfying. You're ramming fools off the road, yanking drivers out of their cars, blowing stuff up mid-chase. It's pure action movie chaos. On foot, the combat's kinda like Arkham or Shadow of Mordor. Big punches, counter moves, brutal finishers. Max doesn't fight pretty, he fights mean. Headbutts, gut punches, slams, it all feels heavy and nasty, just like it should in a world where people are fighting over scraps. The map is huge, but not in that bloated Ubisoft way. It's all desert, yeah, but every zone feels different. Abandoned airfields, oil camps, dried out seas full of shipwrecks, and weird culty outposts. You're always finding something messed up or creepy, whether it's scarecrow towers to rip down or enemy camps to clear out. And here's the thing, it's got a vibe. Real lonely, real broken. You can feel how empty and hopeless this world is. Max barely talks. The music is slow and moody when you're driving alone. The sky turns blood red during storms and thunder just roars through the silence. It nails that last man on Earth feeling. Mad Max didn't get the love it deserved when it dropped, but trust me, it's absolutely worth playing now. Great atmosphere, tight gameplay, and just a full-on badass ride through the apocalypse. If you ever wanted to feel like you're living in a Mad Max movie, this game delivers. Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is one of the most underrated first-person shooters ever made, like, no joke. This thing is a straight-up masterpiece, and most people slept on it. It dropped in 2016, right in the middle of a brutal release window between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, so it kinda got buried. But if you've played it, you already know, this game is next level. First off, yeah, it's a fast-paced FPS with parkour and big-ass robots. You're a pilot, and pilots in this world are like super soldiers. You can run on walls, double jump, slide like a maniac, cloak, toss grenades, and the movement just feels buttery smooth. Like once you get into the rhythm, it's addicting. Every jump, every wall run, every slide into a shotgun blast, it just flows. But what makes Titanfall 2 special isn't just the movement or the sick multiplayer, though that's amazing too. It's the single player campaign. Yeah, a short one, only like 5-6 hours, but it's pound for pound one of the best FPS campaigns ever made. You play as Jack Cooper, a regular rifleman who ends up bonding with a Titan named BT-7274 after their original pilot dies in battle. And yeah, BT's a robot, but by the end of the game, you'll love him like a bro. The writing is tight, the humor is dry, and the bond between Jack and BT is surprisingly emotional. And the missions? Dude, they do not miss. Every level has some kind of twist or gameplay hook that makes it stand out. 1 minute you're doing classic Titan combat, stomping through enemies, punching other mechs, launching missiles. The next minute you're in this mind-blowing time travel level that people still talk about to this day. If you know, you know. That level alone is better than entire campaigns from other shooters.
What just happened?
The Titan gameplay is just as slick. You hop in BT and suddenly the game shifts. It's heavy, powerful, and tactical. You can swap between different loadouts mid-fight. One has a giant sword, another has a big shield, another just unloads with rockets, and it all just feels awesome. You're not just a guy with a robot, you are the robot. And it rules! The whole campaign is full of moments that make you stop and go, yo, this is sick. It's creative, it respects your time, and it knows when to go big and when to slow down. No filler, no fluff, just straight heat from start to finish. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. You're back as BJ Blazkowicz, aka Terror Billy, the toughest, angriest Nazi killing machine in gaming. But this time, things are rough. He's broken, half dead, barely hanging on. The game starts with him literally rolling around in a wheelchair while blasting Nazis in a submarine. That's the kind of energy this thing comes in with, just pure chaos right from the jump. The world is still totally messed up. America lost World War II and the Nazis run everything now. You're sneaking around 1960s USA trying to spark a full-blown revolution. So you're going from bombed out cities to Nazi propaganda parades to underground resistance bases to, not even kidding, outer space. No level feels boring or safe. The game is always pushing you into these intense, over-the-top set pieces. Combat is brutal and fast. You dual-wield machine guns, shotguns, laser rifles, whatever you want, and it's violent. Heads pop, limbs fly, blood sprays everywhere. You feel unstoppable, even when you're barely holding on. The shooting feels heavy and chunky and raw, like old-school FPS done right, but with modern polish. Visually, the game looks amazing. The retro future Nazi aesthetic is weird and creepy and somehow stylish. The soundtrack slaps, and the pacing, no blow, no filler, just non-stop moments that stick with you.
Letting the radiation in.
Tales from the Borderlands. Tales from the Borderlands is honestly one of the best things Telltale ever made. And yeah, I'm saying that even with Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us on the table. Like, this game, it's got heart, it's got laughs, it's got moments that'll low-key catch you off guard emotionally. And yeah, it's set in the Borderlands universe, but you don't even need to be a big fan of the main games to love this one. It stands on its own. You play as two main characters, Reese, this wannabe corporate dude who works for the mega company Hyperion, and Fiona, a street-smart con artist from the planet Pandora. They're both telling their own version of the same story, and neither of them is 100% honest, which leads to some hilarious, wait, that didn't happen kind of moments. That setup alone keeps things fresh the whole way through.
You're only going to get yourselves killed. Or worse.
The tone is straight up fun. It's goofy and fast and super well written. The humor actually lands, like laugh out loud funny at times, but it never feels like it's trying too hard. It's got that Borderlands vibe, loud, sarcastic, kind of unhinged, but this time with a way more focused story and actual character growth. And yeah, it's a Telltale game, so it's all about choices, dialogue, and those big oh no moments where you have to decide something fast and live with it. But compared to other Telltale stuff, this one's way more stylish.
This scam was our biggest yet.
What really hits though is how much you end up caring. Like, yeah, it's funny and chaotic and full of dumb jokes, but underneath all that, there's a real story about friendship, trust, betrayal, and growing up in a world that's pretty much garbage. By the time it ends, you're like, dang, I wasn't ready for the feels. Tales from the Borderlands didn't get enough attention when it dropped, but it's honestly top-tier storytelling, not just for Borderlands fans, but for anybody who loves good characters and a wild, fun ride. It's one of those games that people always end up loving after they try it.
Quiet all of a sudden.
Oxenfree.
Whore Island? Sounds a little different than what we're on.
Why would you think I said
Oxenfree is one of those quiet little games that sneaks up on you. Like, you go in thinking it's just a chill indie game about teens on an island, but then it turns into something way creepier, way weirder, and honestly kinda unforgettable. You play as Alex, this teenager heading to a small island with her friends for what's supposed to be a laid-back night of goofing off, talking trash, and maybe breaking some rules, but of course, stuff goes sideways fast. You mess with a weird radio signal, open some kind of creepy dimensional rift, and suddenly the whole island feels off. Like, the air's too quiet, time starts skipping, and dead things don't stay gone. It's not a jump scare kind of horror, it's more that slow, creepy, and kind of strange that messes with your head. The gameplay is super simple. You walk around, explore, and talk, a lot of talking, but it's really well written. The way characters interrupt each other or change tone mid-sentence or go quiet during heavy moments, it feels real, natural, and the choices you make in conversations actually shape how your friends feel about you and how the story plays out. Like, not in a huge dramatic way every second, but slowly, over time, little things build up and change how it ends.
Yeah, fun. An excuse to hit run.
Hey, I'm the truthiest truth. Whoever
All right, let's just get on with it.
Okay, so?
The best part though? The vibe. This game is all about atmosphere. The art is simple but beautiful. Soft colors, foggy trees, creepy abandoned buildings. The music's all glitchy and eerie and kinda lo-fi. And that radio mechanic, it's not just a gimmick. You tune through weird frequencies and sometimes you'll catch ghost voices, static messages, or music from somewhere else. It's unsettling in the coolest way.
Yeah, tonight's not exactly what I expected.
Oxenfree isn't long, you can beat it in 1 or 2 sittings, but it sticks with you. It's simple, it's strange, it's emotional, and it nails that feeling of being a teenager where everything feels like the end of the world and then suddenly it kinda is. You like story games with weird supernatural stuff, cool vibes, and characters that actually feel human? This one's worth your time. Just grab some headphones, turn off the lights, and let it pull you in.
Stations that don't exist. Oh my god.
Road 96. Road 96 is one of those games that just feels different. Like, yeah, it's a road trip game, but not the kind with happy songs and cute diners. This one's about running from a messed up country, trying to escape to freedom, and hoping you don't get caught along the way. Every trip is a gamble, every stop is a new story. You play as different teenagers trying to cross the border of a fictional place called Petria. It's got a corrupt government, protests, people disappearing, the whole place is falling apart, and you're just trying to get out. But here's the twist. Every playthrough is different. Different characters, different choices, different paths. One time you might hitchhike with a weird conspiracy nut. Another time you're helping a bandit rob a gas station. Or maybe you're just walking alone through the desert, hoping someone picks you up before you pass out. The way it's set up is kind of like a road movie, chopped up into pieces. You move through random scenes, gas stations, motels, mountain trails, diners, back roads, and each one gives you a bit more of the world, politics, and the people trying to survive in it. You meet a bunch of recurring characters along the way, and every time you run into them, their story moves forward. Some are funny, some are sad, some are just plain weird, but it all connects. What really makes it work is how personal it feels. You're not playing some hero with powers, you're just a scared kid with a backpack and a dream of crossing the border. You make choices that might save you or screw you. Do you steal gas money? Do you rat someone out to the cops? Do you trust the guy with the shotgun in the backseat? It's all up to you. And those choices affect the world too. Little by little, your actions push the country closer to change, or not.
Say what now? Oh, hi, Jared.
Visually, it's got a cool, artsy style, bright colors, soft edges, kind of like a watercolor painting mixed with low poly 3D. The music is also top tier, chill, moody indie tracks that totally nail that bitter, sweet road trip feeling. Road 96 isn't some giant blockbuster, but it's got soul, it's got heart, and it knows how to make you feel like you're really out there on the road chasing something that maybe feels impossible, but you still gotta try. Definitely one of those hidden gems more folks should play.
And their journeys have only just begun. Each decision could shape your destiny and Petria's too. Time for you to hit the road.
Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. You play as two brothers, both at the same time, and I mean literally one on the left stick, one on the right. It sounds weird at first, but once you get the hang of it, it just clicks. They move together, solve puzzles together, climb stuff, carry each other. They're always helping each other out. You feel that connection through the controls, not just the story. It's like the game's teaching you how close they are without saying a word. The story's about them going on this big journey to find a cure for their sick father. That's the whole setup. They leave home, walk through forests, mountains, mountains, caves, villages, all kinds of places, some beautiful, some scary. And along the way, you see these tiny little moments between the brothers. One might pet a cat, the other might scare a goat, one might help a person out, the other just wants to keep moving. And the world is kinda like a fairy tale, but darker. You'll see giants, weird creatures, creepy ruins, all sorts of stuff that feels magical, but also a little sad. The game doesn't over-explain anything, it just lets you experience it, like a dream you're walking through. But what really makes this game special is what it does near the end. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a part that hits hard, not just emotionally, but how it uses the gameplay to deliver that moment. No cutscene, no dialogue, just your hands on the controller, and suddenly everything feels different. It's one of those rare times where the game makes you feel something just by changing how it plays. And that part, yeah, you'll know it when you get there. If you've never played it, go in blind, just sit down with a controller, let it take you for a ride, and don't rush it. Trust me, it's worth it. As dusk falls.
You can stick your gag order and your pen right up your ass.
As dusk falls might look weird at first, like real weird. The characters don't move smooth like a regular game, it's kind of like a slideshow, like 2 frames per second. You'll probably be like, yo, is my game broken? But hear me out. Once you get into it, you stop caring about the way it looks, because the story totally pulls you in. This game is like playing a TV drama. It's got a strong story with messed up choices, family drama, crime stuff, and a bunch of emotional moments. It starts with a simple thing, 2 families crashing into each other after a robbery goes wrong. One family's just on a road trip, the other is desperate and makes a bad move, and then boom, hostage situation, secrets come out, stuff goes crazy real fast. You don't just play one person either, you swap between different characters, adults, teens, even kids. Sometimes you're trying to stay alive, sometimes you're trying to protect someone, sometimes you're just trying not to say the wrong thing, and the choices you make really matter. Like, people can live or die depending on what you do. Yeah, there's no running around or shooting or puzzles, it's just you picking what to say, what to do, and watching the story play out. But it works, and really interesting just after you get that jarring slideshow art style. So yeah, the animation's kinda janky and takes a minute to get used to, but if you like games like Life is Strange, Telltale's Walking Dead, or Heavy Rain, this one's absolutely worth your time. The story's strong, the choices matter, and by the end, you'll be thinking about everything you did. Give it a shot, just get past the weird look, and it'll grab you.
Improvising. I'm not just gonna abandon you.
Family means sacrifice.
American Arcadia. American Arcadia is one of those games that feels like a hidden gem you just randomly stumble into, but once you're in, you're like, wait, why aren't more people talking about this? So here's the deal. It's kind of like if The Truman Show met Inside with a little bit of Papers, Please sprinkled in. You play as this regular guy named Trevor who lives in this 70s style city where everything seems chill on the surface, but turns out he's actually being watched 24/7 on a live TV show without even knowing it. Like straight up reality TV, but creepy. And yeah, when he finds out, he tries to escape. The cool part is that the game doesn't just stick to one style. Half the time you're playing as Trevor, doing classic side-scrolling platformer stuff, running, climbing, hiding, dodging, security, kind of like Limbo or Inside, but the other half you play as Angela, this hacker girl trying to help him escape from behind the scenes. And when you're her, it switches to a full 3D first-person view where you're solving puzzles, messing with computers, unlocking doors, stuff like that. It flips back and forth and keeps things fresh the whole way through.
Yes, I got it!
The whole vibe is really slick. It's got that retro futuristic look, bright colors, old school tech, weirdly clean buildings. The city looks cool, but once you realize it's basically one big lie, everything starts feeling off in a good way. Kinda like you're in this fake perfect world with something wrong under the surface. American Arcadia is short and sweet, no bloat, just a cool idea done right. It's one of those games where you get pulled in by the mystery, stay for the characters, and by the end you're like, yeah, that was dope. If you're into story games with a little action and some sneaky puzzle stuff, don't sleep on this one.
On the run on camera 4025. Interrupt broadcast immediately.
Battlefield Hardline Campaign. Battlefield Hardline's campaign is one of those weird ones that people kind of forget even exists, but honestly, it's way better than most folks give it credit for. Like, yeah, it's not your typical Battlefield game where you're in a war zone blowing up tanks and parachuting into chaos. This one's different. It's more like a cop show with crime drama vibes and a whole lot of yo, what's really going on here energy. You play as Nick Mendoza, a cop in Miami who's trying to do the right thing in a world full of dirty cops and messed up drug deals. The story plays out like a full-on TV series. I'm talking episode recaps, cliffhangers, cutscene fades like you're watching an HBO show. It's cheesy at times, sure, like CSI meets Bad Boys, but it kind of works. You're not just running and gunning the whole time, there's actual story, characters, betrayal, and some solid twists. Gameplay-wise, it's still a shooter, but it's got a lot more stealth and non-lethal options than the usual Battlefield chaos. You can flash your badge, freeze suspects, tase people, arrest them quietly, or go loud if things go sideways. You're sneaking through warehouses, scanning rooms for clues, trying to catch criminals without turning it into a war zone. It's slower paced, but feels fresh, especially compared to other FPS campaigns that just scream, shoot everything. Visually, it still holds up pretty well. Bright streets, nighttime Miami lights, dusty deserts. It's got style, and the set pieces, yeah, there's still explosions and car chases and all that good stuff. There's a prison escape, a heist, shootouts on boats. It's got those sick moments just in a more grounded setting. The campaign's only about 6-8 hours, and honestly, it never drags. It keeps moving, mixing quiet detective stuff with action scenes, and every episode feels a little different, and since it's not tied to the usual military Battlefield stuff, it stands out. It's like the one time the series took a risk and tried something more personal, more story-focused. Battlefield Hardline isn't the best FPS ever made, but its campaign, definitely one of the most unique in the Battlefield series. If you're into crime shows, undercover cop stories, or just want a shooter that slows down and does something different, this one's worth checking out. Real underrated. Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush is one of those games that just makes you smile the second you start playing. It's bright, it's loud, it's full of color, and most of all, it's got rhythm. Like literally, the whole game moves to the beat. Your attacks, your dodges, your combos, even the enemies and the world around you, everything's synced up to the music and it feels awesome. You play as this dude named Chai, who's kind of a wannabe rock star. He signs up for some tech experiment, something goes wrong, and boom, now his heart is synced to music forever. So everything he sees, hears, and does is all tied to a beat. It's a dumb setup, but the game knows it's dumb, and it has so much fun with it. The tone is goofy, but never annoying, just lighthearted and fun the whole way through.
Handling technologies isn't just coming from my arm.
The gameplay is like a mix between a rhythm game and a character action game, kind of like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but way more chill. You don't have to be perfect with your timing, but if you land your hits on beat, you do more damage, your combos look flashier, and the music kicks in harder. It's super satisfying, and when you're in the zone, you feel like a total badass. Every level is a full-on music video. Platforms move on the beat, background objects bounce to the rhythm, even boss fights feel like giant concerts. The art style is cartoony in the best way, like a Saturday morning cartoon mixed with a comic book. And the animation? So smooth, so clean, so fun to watch. And yeah, there's a story too. Chai teams up with a bunch of rebels, each with their own cool personality and combat style. You get partners who jump in during fights, each with their own abilities. It's not some deep emotional tale or anything, but it's fun, it's fast, and it actually has some really sweet character moments mixed in with the dumb jokes. The music slaps too. It's got a mix of original tracks and licensed songs from bands like 9 Inch Nails and the Black Keys. Every boss has their own theme, and when the fight hits, the music just explodes. You can't help but get hyped. What's wild is that this game dropped with zero marketing, just shadow dropped out of nowhere, and somehow ended up being one of the freshest, most creative games in years. No microtransactions, no bloat, no games as a service junk, just a full, polished, complete game made with love. Hi-Fi Rush is pure fun, and we don't get enough of that anymore. It's stylish, it's creative, it feels good to play, and it never overstays its welcome. If you love games that try something different and actually nail it, you need to play this. It's a rhythm action blast from start to finish.